What is up, guys? It's Charlie here from Pro Rock Soccer. Today we've got another episode of Gloves Are Off. I'm delighted to be joined alongside Asmir Begovic. Asmir, how are you?
I'm good, mate. Thanks
Good,
for having me.
Perfect. So what we're going to do today, we're going to chat a little bit about your entire goalkeeping history, like how did you get into the sport, what you're currently doing, plans for the future, and a few other bits chucked in between.
Let's do it.
Sounds great. So Asmir, first question, how did you become a goalkeeper?
I mean, I became a goalkeeper very naturally. My father was a goalkeeper, professional goalkeeper in the former Yugoslavia. My grandfather was a goalkeeper, so for me it seemed like a very natural thing to do. And at the age of 4 and 5, picked up the gloves and never looked back.
So it's always been, like in your family, it's always been the blood to be a goalkeeper?
Absolutely, yeah. It's always been the family. Like I said, my dad did it. Felt a natural thing for me to do. Never wanted to do anything else, and never forced on me. Just something that felt very natural, something I wanted to do, and I'm glad I did.
I suppose my next question probably should be, were they your inspiration?
Yeah, obviously my dad was my inspiration. Of course, I wanted to be like him. Followed him around everywhere in those ages. You know, even once we moved to Germany, played for some semi-professional local teams. I was like the mascot, cleaning boots, whatever I needed to do to get there and be part of the team. And yeah, I just always wanted to be around him, and definitely my inspiration.
So how did you first get into goalkeeping? Like, how did you first sign your first sort of pro contract, as it were?
Well, that came later on. I signed my first pro contract at the age of 18. It was agreed at the age of 16, but I signed my first pro contract at Portsmouth. I came over to the UK at 16. Was offered a 2-year academy scholarship, and then a professional contract after that. So things happened very quickly at that age, and you know, I was grateful for the opportunity, and it was a really good place to kind of learn my trade.
Because before you actually signed your first pro contract, you were playing in Canada, weren't you, for a little bit? And am I right to say that two scouts from Portsmouth and one from Tottenham both saw you and they both wanted you on trial?
Yeah, so I spent 6 years of my childhood in Canada from the ages of 10 to 16, and my agent, who is still currently my agent now, scouted. Well, he's the one that actually scouted me and found me, and I said, I've got a couple of trials in England, a couple of people that are interested in you, and those two teams were Portsmouth and Tottenham, and things happened very quickly. I went to Portsmouth first. Things happened very quickly. They offered me a contract, and I had no hesitation in signing it.
To hear that two clubs, you know, the stature of Portsmouth and Tottenham are both interested in you, I mean, as a kid, that must be amazing, surely.
Yeah, as a kid, you just take it in your stride. I think now, looking back at it, I was like, oh, that was pretty cool. I think as a kid, you don't think about it too much. You just kind of go for what's in front of you. And yeah, I went to Portsmouth, was welcomed in really nicely, and with open arms, and you know, things worked out really well.
Is it true that you went to Portsmouth first for your trial, and then before Tottenham even got a sniff at you, you signed there and then?
Yeah, no, that was true. I literally, in the first couple of days at Portsmouth, I trained well. I played in a friendly match and did really well. And they said, we'll offer you this contract, but you can't go to Tottenham. So that was fair enough. I didn't have to hesitate, didn't think twice, and I really enjoyed my time in Pompey.
Was it an easy option to decide? Did you like first arrive to the stadium and think, I can see myself playing here?
You know, I was just a kid wanting to play professional football. So whoever gave me an opportunity, I was very grateful for. A lot of things that happened in my life before then. So to be able to come to England, be part of a great club, and be given this opportunity, you don't have to think too much about it. Because
when you first signed for Portsmouth, is it right there's a few visa complications, which meant you couldn't play in any matches which involved payment through the turnstiles? Yeah, that's you know, I came in on a student Commonwealth visa, which was through Canada and Britain, and you know, that's something that obviously got cleared up as I turned professional. But I was okay. I was playing youth team football. That never was really an issue, and like I said, the opportunity was big for me. And whilst at Portsmouth, you had your opportunity to go on loan as well. That's where you got your first ever professional game. Can you remember it?
I do. It was for Year against Genk. We lost 3-2. That was a good experience. You know, I never played a professional game, and all of a sudden get chucked in front of 10,000 people. So very good experience, living on my own. You know, I was in digs while I was in England, but you go to Belgium, 18, foreign country, you don't know what's going on. You get put into an apartment and off you go. So for me, these were very big learning experiences and part of my development.
Is that a bit nervous at first to think you go into like a completely different country, like very young, and to be playing for a big team as well? Is that a bit nervous at first?
Yeah, no, it was actually. You know, thankfully I was starting to travel away from home at the age of 14, so I was used to being away from home, used to being on my own, kind of taking care of myself, and that part of it helped. But of course, that was the first time I was proper on my own. No one to really look after me. to cook my own food, look after, pay my own utility bills and all these kind of things. So a quick, things you learn very quickly about life and what it teaches you. So I think from that point of view, it was a great experience, and it's something that I wouldn't change. And La Riviere was a great opportunity for me at the time. Silvio Proto had moved on to Anderlecht, and they brought me in. So it was a big opportunity at the time. Unfortunately, that quite didn't work out for the club the way we all wanted to. But it was a big experience.
Also, whilst Portsmouth, you saw yourself go on loan to another few different clubs as well. Mansfield, your current club, AFC Bournemouth, Yeovil, Macclesfield as well. How important is it to get that first team experience at that age?
I think for everyone it's huge. I think young guys, you have to understand what playing games is. You have to understand what the responsibility is of performing for your team, for your teammates, and of course making a living. So every experience on loan did something different for me. It was at different stages of my career, and that was part of my progression as well. You start at a very low level, and then of course you work your way up.
Then after a number of years of sort of like plying your trade, you managed to make your Premier League debut for Portsmouth. What was that like?
Yeah, that was amazing. I mean, that was one of my first times when I thought, you know what, I'd sort of achieved something. All these little milestones along the way were big, but playing in the Premier League and something that no one can take away from you. And of course, that was many years of hard work coming together at the end. And it was a great moment. I had my dad actually came in for the game. It wasn't planned, just one of those games he came to visit and ended up playing. So to have him there, have my wife in the stands, and all these people supporting me was obviously a fantastic experience.
That must have been pretty special, considering that your dad was also a goalkeeper, to then see his son playing goal at Premier League
level.
level.
I mean, it was quite a magical moment, really. These things happen, you don't plan them, and I'm just really glad it worked out.
And then February 1st, in 2010, you then saw yourself move from Portsmouth to Stoke City. What was that like? How did that move come about? Yeah, so that was a big move. That came about, obviously, the fact that there was a bit of trouble at Portsmouth, financial trouble, ownership trouble. So of course you hear the rumours that potentially people could be up for sale and on the block, and my name was one of those mentioned. I'd literally broken into the first team on a regular basis in the Premier League earlier that winter, I think about November. So for me, actually, it was great. I love Pompey, the fans, the people. Did I want to leave? Not really, but obviously at the time, circumstances, you had to leave, and I went to another big club in Stoke, and again, it was another big challenge with Tony Pulis there being the manager, Thomas Sorensen competing with him, and of course Andy Quay as the goalkeeper coach. So from that point of view, it was a great situation for me to go to and grow once again. Before you actually signed for Stoke, I'm not sure if you were aware of this or not, but Tony Pulis labelled you as potentially one of the best young goalkeepers in England at the time. What's that like to hear from your new manager to say that about you? No, I mean that was great to hear. Obviously, when we had a conversation about me joining Stoke, he had some really positive thoughts and how he wanted me to develop and what could potentially happen with my career. So, it was really nice to hear someone who believed in me and my qualities, and of course that made me want to, of course, play for him and be part of that club. Was it an easy move to make to go from Portsmouth to Stoke, or? Well, like I said, it wasn't an easy move in the fact that I was leaving Portsmouth. I came there. They gave me the opportunity to come to England. The people there are such a family club. A lot of good people there who I didn't want to leave. I really enjoyed it. My family were settled. Everything from that point of view was difficult. But then the challenge of going to Stoke and going to a big club like that, and then what was ahead was exciting, of course. Very exciting indeed. You made over 160 appearances for the Potters. How much of an honour is that? No, that was great. I had a fantastic time there. Again, I grew in with the local community, with the fans, with the people. Was given a huge opportunity to apply my trade and play in the Premier League each and every week. So I think from that point of view, I developed a lot. Crucial years for any goalkeeper, so that early 20s, and they gave me the chance to really develop into a proper goalkeeper. And you did develop into a proper goalkeeper, as you labelled it yourself. During your time at Stoke, you went out to play in the World Cup as well for Bosnia. That's right. Yeah. What an amazing experience. Yeah, I mean that was amazing. The ultimate highlight of my career. To play in a World Cup is huge. To play in Brazil was amazing. The fact that it was Bosnia's first ever major tournament was even more special. And then you play the opening game against Argentina, Lionel Messi at the Maracanã. Everything added up to be just an amazing experience. And like I said, the highlight of my career. Also, whilst you're at Stoke, you made another achievement. Not sure if you meant it or not, but you joined a very exclusive list. Yes. Along with Brad Friedel, Kasper Schmeichel, Tim Howard, Paul Robinson. You know what is that? Yeah, no, scoring the goal. Yeah, scoring the goal. I mean, again, no, that was a really cool thing. Not planned, of course.
the fact that it happened, it was a bit of a freak thing. But you know what? It was a cool experience and something, of course, I remember very fondly.
Weirdly enough, you now actually, because who you scored against, Arthur Boric, is now your teammate here at Bournemouth. Do you ever speak about it? Do you ever?
Yeah, I mean, I try and bring it up as much as possible, of course. But no, all joking aside, it was brought up by someone else, not me, the first time. So we broke the ice and we laugh about it now.
Do you know that's still Stoke's fastest ever Premier League goal?
Yeah. Hopefully it stays like that for a while. It'd be nice.
Well, it's the 7th fastest in Premier League history as well. So it's a remarkable achievement. Well done.
We'll take that. Thank you.
July 2015 saw you move away from Stoke to Stamford Bridge. How did that move come about?
Yeah, again, I'd done really well at Stoke for a while, and the opportunity for Chelsea came up very quickly. They were obviously in need of a replacement for Petr Cech. They were looking at somebody, and when Chelsea and Jose Mourinho call, it's very difficult to turn down. So from that point of view, I felt like I was ready in my career again for a different experience, a different challenge, and I felt like this was the biggest challenge I could take on, to go to Chelsea, to fight for trophies, to fight with Thibaut Courtois, one of the best goalkeepers in the world. And again, I was happy I did that because I had 2 really great years there.
To go from a club such as Stoke to go to Chelsea, in terms of like a mentality, do you have to adapt to that at all?
Of course you do. I think the scope and the pressure that's placed on Chelsea each and every game, each and every week is huge, and you have to learn to cope with that very, very quickly. The expectation of you is to be extraordinary and nothing else. And I think from that point of view, you have to adjust. And you know, I like I said, I think from that whole experience, I was a better player in the end.
Is that pressure good for a goalkeeper? Like, do you thrive under it, or?
Yeah, I think if you want to win trophies and you want to compete at the highest level, then there's no getting away from it. You have to cope with it. You have to kind of relish that challenge and that pressure, and that's something that's never bothered me.
You mentioned trophies. You got your hands on a Premier League trophy.
Yeah.
What an amazing achievement that is. How did it feel to lift it?
Again, one of those achievements you look back and think all of the work and sacrifice, everything you've done throughout those years and the earlier years was worth it. That moment was special. To be part of that group was special. I think that the one thing that set us apart was the team spirit. The fact that we were able to all sacrifice for one another was huge, and to be part of that group was very, very cool.
And then May 2017, so fairly recently, you then moved from Chelsea to your current club, FC Bournemouth. How did that move come about? Yeah,
again, I mean, the one thing at Chelsea that was a little bit difficult was obviously the lack of playing time. And when the Bournemouth opportunity came up, a club that was growing, it was a huge project. Obviously, an amazing history over the last 10 or so years, and you know, wanted to go and take that challenge on, be somewhere for the long term. Compete for the #1 spot, hopefully play more games and help this club grow even further.
And once you hear you spoke about it growing, Bournemouth as a club on the whole is just getting bigger and bigger and starting to grow more, isn't it? I mean, when Bournemouth probably first got into the Premier League, a lot of people out there probably thought they would just go straight back down and just sort of hover around the Championship. But since they've actually got into the Premier League, they've really sort of established themselves, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I think from the outside looking in, it's I can understand what people say and the skeptics out there, but the fact is, when you're in here, the hunger to get better, the hunger to continually go against all odds and really push each other to new levels is huge, and the motivation we have to achieve special things is fantastic, and that's what keeps this club striving forward, makes us want to stay in the Premier League, makes us want to achieve different things, and maybe even compete and win a trophy at some point. So
let's talk about your gloves. So the Sales F3, what is it about that glove? Well, no, first of all, that's quite a personal glove to you, isn't it, the F3? Yeah,
so of course, I've been with Sales for quite a long time. They've looked after me really well, and I think the quality is second to none in terms of their gloves. And then, of course, as the years have gone on, we kind of wanted to design our own little glove. So I've been part of the design process for the F3, and it's my own signature glove, and one I really enjoy wearing, and I think is a great glove for everyone.
You say it's your signature glove, it literally has your signature on it. As part of the Asmir Begovic Foundation. Just what is the foundation all about?
Yeah, so my charitable foundation has been set up about 5.5 years ago, obviously called the Asmir Begovic Foundation, and I've always been passionate about giving back. I wanted to, but then as time went on, I really wanted to focus in on something, and I wanted to achieve something special, leave a legacy behind and all this kind of stuff, and set up opportunities for the future, and that's what we decided to set up this foundation. We focused in on sports facilities back home in Bosnia and here in the UK, where we can open up opportunities for the next generation, for even for adults, but mostly the kids. And kids hopefully they can achieve their dreams like I did. And Bosnia went through tough times many years ago. A huge conflict happened and destroyed a lot of the country. So part of the rebuilding process is what we do. And I was very fortunate to be able to achieve my dreams through football, and hopefully we can inspire the next generation to do also.
So sort of giving back to, nice.
Right.
What's the one thing you look for in a glove?
Just the comfort and feel. Of course, you look for the quality and the material and everything, but the fact is it has to fit like a glove. You have to put that glove on and feel very comfortable and not look down on it and not have any doubt the fact that it can perform and be part of you during games, and you can count on it. You don't want it to rip or not feel right, and the fact is this glove feels perfect, and that's obviously what allows you to perform each and every day.
And it's important to have that confidence in your glove as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. You have to have that confidence and the comfort and the quality, and if you have that, obviously it lets you perform and makes life a lot easier.
So you still have years left in your playing time, but have you?
I hope so.
So you still have years left, but is there, have you thought about any plans after football?
Yeah, of course you start thinking about these things. I guess when you get to my age, but of course I hope to play many more years. Hope to obviously leave it all out there on the field, and then maybe get into different things. I'll do my coaching badges. I have my academy back home in Bosnia. I'll do some stuff. I like the media side of things, and maybe a front office job, ownership kind of opportunity. So maybe do something different away from the field when I finish.
Take over from Selzy?
Yeah, I could maybe take over from Selzy when he retires, if he ever retires. He'll be with us for a long time, I'm sure. But yeah, maybe do something different. I think that would really sort of light the fire once again.
Nice. So what's been your best moment in goal? Your all-time favourite moment?
Yeah, my all-time favourite was the opening game at the 2014 World Cup. Walking out to Maracana was the most magical moment. The pitch was perfect. Nobody had ever played in that pitch before. Since the renovation of the stadium, and to play in that opening game for us, for a major tournament against Argentina, was the best moment.
What's been your worst moment in goal?
A worst moment in goal? That's difficult. Of course, any time you make a mistake or you cost the team a result and all these kind of things, those are the worst moments. Of course, you go through them, and I think that's how you develop toughness as well. But I think all those moments there's not one worse than another. They're all very not so nice.
Is it almost important to sort of have those bad moments to sort of like learn and build and sort of have a bit of character building? Yeah,
because I think it's the way how you cope with these things. Unfortunately, or fortunately in life, mistakes happen. You have to, you're going to fail at times, and it's about how you react to those moments and how you deal with them. Make sure that it focuses you in the right way and makes you want to get better and learn from these things.
And final question: in 5 years' time, who do you think is going to be the #1 goalkeeper in the world?
5 years' time was going to be, oh my goodness, that is a very difficult. I think maybe Donnarumma. I think he's on his way to be up there. Areola from PSG is obviously an amazing talent. So I think one of those guys. Ter Stegen will still be in his prime, I'm sure. So maybe one of those three.
Good answers.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. So that's the gloves are off with Asmir Begovic. If you want to win the signed pair of Asmir's gloves, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Pro Direct Soccer. I've been Charlie. He's been Asmir Begovic. See you in the next one.